In this video I'm covering content, etiquette and plagiarism and how you can protect your content. So as you can see, I'm on Webtalk, and this can apply to Facebook, anywhere, not just Webtalk, but as this is a Webtalk channel mainly, I'm on Webtalk now. I'm on my newsfeed, I've scrolled down and I've got one of my posts up to use this as an example. So as you can see from this, I've created my own post with my own content. I created my own video on how to create an inspirational image post. Now I did this video before I came to the conclusion you need to protect your content. So I'm just going to use this as an example because what I'm seeing is people just doing what they please. There's no etiquette involved and basically it's plagiarism. And the first point I'm going to make, now it doesn't really apply to this post I've done, but I have seen people just copy this content, create a new post, paste it in and change out the links. But it was on a different article I wrote, and I had my referral link and I had a couple more links in there, and all they did was paste it into a post and take out my links and put their own links in. They even used the same photograph that I'd used on that post. It's too far down my newsfeed now to show you which post it is, but I'd even put emoticons in there and they kept that the same. Now I've always said I do not mind people using my content. I'm giving you permission to use my content. The only thing I've ever said, and I strongly will say it again, is don't just use it, copy and paste, take out my links, put other people's links in. And if this is happening to me, it can happen to you. I've always said, as long as you are creative with that content, I do not mind you using it. And I'm going to show you a good example of that as we go along. And how about asking as well if you can use that content? Manners cost nothing. It's communication, it's gaining new points by commenting, and at the end of the day you're using someone's name to earn money off their back if you're stealing their content, and we don't need people like you. So anyway, like I said, no one's going to do it with this post, but my next point is you're going to find people, they'll see your post here, and instead of sharing, they're going to go onto your YouTube channel and post it in one of their own posts. Now, to me, that is fine. Other people may have a different opinion on that, but personally, I think this is fine. They're sharing, they're doing you a favour by taking that share link and making a post. Because at the end of the day, if I click on this play button right now, that YouTube logo will take them to the person's channel who made that video. So when people do this, they're promoting your YouTube channel. You're going to get more subscribers if they like. You're going to gain minutes, and eventually you're going to be able to apply to monetize your YouTube channel. In the post that someone blatantly copied and changed out my links for theirs, it taught me a lesson. I ended up taking that content and breaking it down. It was a post about different questions people had asked me and my replies in that post. So I took each question, as in this example, how do I earn? And I put the answer that I wrote in that article on an image. And there was about 5 questions and I did 5 separate images. Really, they did me a favour because I ended up earning more points with breaking it down and putting it on an image. If you don't want people to steal your images, add a watermark. Create a watermark and use it on all your content. You can't do it in the text on your post, but you can do it on images, you can do it on videos. As you've seen, I haven't got one here. Any images I do from now on, you're going to see my watermark somewhere on that picture. That if someone takes that image, downloads it and uses it in one of their posts, people are going to see my URL, which is not networkingpays.com somewhere on that image, which means if anyone sees that and looks at it properly, they're going to go over to my website. Now, if you don't have a website, you can add your referral link on there. Always add a watermark of some kind, whether it's your logo for your business, your referral ID, or a paw print, whatever you use. You should be creating your own content. It's not hard to do. Yes, sometimes you get stuck for ideas and then suddenly something will pop in your head. Create it. Yeah, it's all right sharing people's posts. That's part of Webtalk. But how about doing some work and creating your own content? Now, I've talked about being creative if you're going to use someone else's content. Again, I don't mind people using my content as long as they're creative with it. I'd like people, if they could, to ask first. That's good manners, it's etiquette, and it doesn't cost you anything to ask. In a previous video, I also said I do not mind anyone who takes my content and translates it into another language. When it comes to that, you don't have to ask, because if it's something that helps other web talkers, then I don't mind as long as someone translates it. And I'm going to show you an example of this. So there's my post, posted 2 weeks ago. Now, 21 hours ago, Angelique, sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, translated that post of mine into a different language. She used the same photo, which I don't mind. I do mind when people are using it to promote their web talk using my figures. That's a no-no. Use your own figures. If you're only earning 12 cents, use that. Don't use mine just because I'm earning $50 odd. Use your own. But in context with this post of mine, she's used the same photo. That I don't mind. She's translated it in another language. I could never have done that, so that's brilliant. It's being creative and it's helping other web talkers. And when Angelique has sat down to repurpose this content in her own language, she deserves the credit for that post. She deserves the likes, the comments and the shares. Simple as, because she's put the work into it. That is a good example of good etiquette. As you can see in this post, this is when I started getting annoyed from people taking my content when I'd spent time working on it, and I didn't want people to share it without some recognition back to me. I didn't want people just downloading this and using it as their own. And this is when I started using watermarks about a week ago. And as you can see, I've put my URL at the bottom here. You can put your referral ID, your name, whatever you want, but put your stamp on it. Again, another example where I've put my URL on the post. Now, when it comes to video, you've always got whoever created that video and put it on their channel. It comes up here top left. But what I've also started doing, if you look here just under, I'm putting my watermark. I'm starting putting my watermark on everything I do right now. My advice would be for everyone to do the same. The only time you can't use your watermark is when you create a text post. But when it comes to content creators, we work hard. It takes a lot of time editing videos, and depending on how skilled you are at doing images, it can be very quick or take you a good while. Manners cost nothing. Creating content takes time. So this is a post that Lorraine created. Look at the details she's put in. She's put emoticons. She's put my posting tips. She's got different points she's made. You can scroll down, you can read it. More emoticons. Lorraine shares some great posts. But I'm telling you now, she doesn't do this in 5 minutes. This will take her a good while to create this post. She puts the hashtags in. Sometimes she'll put links in there. And you just don't want people coming along, copying all of that and posting it as though they've written the post. It takes ages to do this, and there's only one person who deserves the credit for that post, and that is Lorraine. I'm going to show you how many likes, shares and comments. She's done a screenshot there, a couple of screenshots. 112 people have liked that post. She's got 45 comments and 67 shares. And in these comments, she would have replied back to each and every person. So not only did it take her a good while to do that post, she's having to acknowledge the comments that come in. She's put hard graft into that. Like me, I'm sure Lorraine does not want someone else making unlimited funds off their back. It's plagiarism, plain and simple. I don't want to see it. I'm sure Lorraine doesn't want to see it. And I'm sure other content creators don't want to see this. Yet there's people out there who are trying to take your work and use it for themselves. And it's them that's getting the credit for your hard work. Just think about it. If someone did it to you, you would not like it, so don't do it to other people. Create your own content, put on a watermark, and at least if someone takes it, your watermark's on there, your URL, your referral link's on there.